Stop scrolling. Right now, this isn't self-help. This is the operating manual for reality, the one they hid from you since childhood. There is an organ in your body you were never taught about. Not in school, not in neuroscience, not in any mindfulness trend. And no, it's not your pineal gland or some mystical metaphor. It's your hands and your brain, functioning as a single bioelectric broadcasting system, a literal electromagnetic network that encodes your internal state and projects it into reality. Not spiritually, not symbolically, mechanically, biologically, predictably. Here's the part they never wanted you to discover. Every major power structure on Earth already knows this exists. Corporations, governments, intelligence agencies, the platforms you scroll on, the algorithms reading your micro-expressions right now. They've been hijacking this broadcast organ your entire life, turning you into a receiver for their reality. But there is one switch, one precise neuroelectrical instruction that flips the system back into your hands. When you trigger it, your hands and brain shift from passive receiver to active generator, pawn in their field, to architect of your own. In this video, I'm going to prove this system is real, then give you the exact protocol, the breath pattern, the hand configuration, the neural phrasing, and the timing. That turns your body into a calibrated broadcasting device. Do it correctly, and you'll watch reality start shifting within 48 hours. Not eventually, not when the universe is ready. Within 2 days, you'll see physical, trackable changes in your environment. But there's a catch. You have a tiny window before your old programming snaps you back. The algorithm wants you numb. The culture wants you obedient. Your nervous system wants the cage it calls normal. If you click away, nothing changes. If you stay and actually apply this, you'll never see reality or your own hands the same way again. Here's the lie they sold you from birth. Your mind is separate from your body. Thoughts happen up there in your skull. Actions happen out there in the physical world. And somehow, through willpower, effort, and hustle, you're supposed to drag external reality to match your internal dreams. It's designed garbage. Intentional misdirection. Because the moment you believe mind and matter are separate, you become powerless. You become a spectator, a consumer, a reactor waiting for external permission to change your life. You become manageable. The truth they've buried under layers of materialist dogma. Your hands and your brain are not two separate systems. They are one unified interface, a bioelectric transmitter-receiver array that doesn't just interact with reality, it actively writes reality at the field level. Let me prove this to you neurologically, because I'm not asking you to believe mystical nonsense. I'm showing you documented biology they don't connect for you in school. Look at the motor cortex in your brain. That strip of neural tissue controlling all voluntary movement. Scientists map it into what's called the cortical homunculus, the little man representation showing how much brain real estate is dedicated to each body part. And here's the real part. Your hands occupy nearly 40% of your entire motor cortex. Not your legs, not your torso, not even your face, your hands. Massive, disproportionate, neural real estate, dedicated exclusively to the fine motor control of your fingers, palms, and wrist movements. Why would evolution do this? Because your hands are the primary bridge between internal thought and external manifestation. Every thought that becomes action in the world flows through your hands first. Whether you're typing, building, painting, gesturing while you speak, or forming symbols. Your hands are the materialization interface. But it goes deeper. You have mirror neurons, specialized brain cells that fire identically, whether you perform an action yourself or watch someone else perform it. Your brain doesn't distinguish between doing and witnessing at the neural level. Both activate the same circuits, which means when you vividly imagine moving your hands with intention, you're already lighting up the exact same pathways as if you'd physically done it. the boundary between mental rehearsal and physical action. It doesn't exist in your neurology. Your brain codes imagination and execution as the same event. This is documented in every neuroscience textbook, but they never teach you the implications. That mental practice with clear imagery is functionally equivalent to physical practice at the level of neural encoding. Now let's talk about your body as an electrical system, because this is where most people's understanding completely breaks down. You're not solid matter. You're a dynamic bioelectric field temporarily organized into a body. Your fascia, the connective tissue webbing your entire body, isn't just structural support. It's a semiconductor, a liquid crystal matrix that transmits both mechanical and electrical signals faster than your nervous system can fire. When you move your hands intentionally, you're not just contracting muscles, you're shifting the geometry of a living antenna array. Your bones are piezoelectric. They generate measurable electrical voltage when compressed or bent. Every time you move, you're producing electrical potentials that cascade through your entire field. Your skin has measurable electrical potentials that fluctuate based on your emotional and cognitive state. This is called galvanic skin response, and it's so reliable that police use it in lie detector tests. Your bioelectric signature changes when you're stressed, when you're lying, when you're aroused, when you're focused. And your hands, they're electromagnetic hotspots. Your palms have more sweat glands per square inch than almost anywhere else on your body, and sweat is conductive. Your hands modulate electrical output based on your state. Your fingertips are packed with more nerve endings than nearly any other body part. Proprioceptive sensors detecting pressure, temperature, and subtle electromagnetic fluctuations. Ever felt heat or tingling in your palms during intense focus, deep meditation, or moments of creative breakthrough? That's not psychosomatic imagination. That's measurable bioelectric feedback. Your hands are actively broadcasting and receiving electromagnetic signals. The occult traditions knew this thousands of years ago and encoded it into symbol systems. The Hermetic axiom, "as above so below," isn't poetry. It's a description of correspondence between mental states and physical manifestation. What you encode internally, you seal externally. Mind programs the pattern. Hands conduct it into form. The medieval alchemists drew hands in their manuscripts not as decorative elements, but as functional diagrams. The Kabbalists assigned specific hand gestures to pathways on the tree of life. The Vedic mystics catalogued hundreds of mudras, hand seals, each corresponding to specific states of consciousness and specific effects on the body-mind system. They weren't primitive. They were pragmatic experimentalists documenting reproducible results over millennia of trial and error. And here's the switch that changes everything. When thought, language, and physical gesture synchronize with focused intention, you stop being a passive receiver of reality and become an active broadcaster. Not thought alone. That's just daydreaming. Not action alone. That's just mechanics. Not language alone. That's just noise, the fusion, the alignment of all three. That's when your bioelectric field locks into coherence and begins transmitting a clean, strong signal that the surrounding field responds to. You've had the hardware installed since birth. You just didn't know it was a transmitter. Every corporation, every media system, every advertising platform knows you're broadcasting. They just don't want you to know it. Because the moment you become a conscious operator of your own frequency, you stop being controllable. But now you know. And once you understand the language this system speaks, the code it runs on, you become the operator instead of the operated. Let's decode that language right now. Your internal monologue is not background noise. It's not meaningless self-talk. It's the carrier signal for everything you broadcast into the field. And 99% of humanity is running corrupted, self-sabotaging code 24/7 without even knowing it. Listen to yourself for the next 60 seconds. What are you actually saying internally? I hope this works out. I can't afford that. Why does this always happen to me? I'm so tired of this. Maybe someday I'll figure it out. That's your code. That's your broadcast frequency. That's the signal your bioelectric field is transmitting every single moment. And reality, the surrounding field, is giving you exactly what you're asking for. Not what you consciously want, what you're actually broadcasting. Here's the Hermetic principle they buried under centuries of mystical language, so you wouldn't understand its practical application. Vibration precedes manifestation. Everything that exists in physical form existed first as frequency, as oscillation, as waveform. Matter is just energy in a stable pattern. Your words, spoken or silent, are waveforms. They generate electromagnetic oscillations in your nervous system that cascade into your bioelectric field and radiate outward like ripples from a stone dropped in water. You are always broadcasting, always. The only question is, what signal? Neuroscience confirms this at every level. Your brain doesn't passively record reality like a camera. It operates on predictive coding. It's actively predicting reality frame by frame, millisecond by millisecond, based on your internal model. And that internal model is constructed primarily from language. What you say to yourself shapes what you expect. What you expect shapes what you perceive. What you perceive becomes your experienced reality. This is documented. This is published science. But they keep it fragmented across academic disciplines, so you never connect the dots and realize you're holding the remote control. Let me break down the syntax of reality code. The linguistic structure that either amplifies your signal or scrambles it into noise. Example: I hope this works. Hope implies uncertainty. Hope means you're separated from the outcome, wishing from a distance. Your brain processes hope as not guaranteed, not now, not mine. Your nervous system reads that as low probability and stays in mild stress mode, hedging its bets. Your bioelectric field broadcasts hesitation, doubt, separation. The surrounding field mirrors that back as delays, obstacles, almost but not quite results. Now try. I am choosing this outcome. Choosing is active. Choosing is present tense. Choosing implies agency and ownership. Your brain shifts into motor readiness. The preparatory state for action. Your nervous system primes for execution. Your bioelectric field broadcasts decisiveness and certainty. Completely different signal. Completely different response from the field. Let me give you the 3 core rules of reality coding that most people violate constantly. Every time you say, I don't want to be broke, or I won't fail, or I'm not sick anymore, your brain has to first construct a detailed image of being broke, failing, or being sick in order to process the sentence, neurons fire, in response to the image, not the negation. The not or don't doesn't erase the neural activation. It actually reinforces it. You're literally rehearsing and amplifying the exact state you're trying to escape. Your bioelectric field broadcasts the image you're trying to negate. The field doesn't process negation. It only processes the content. Fix. Always rewrite in the affirmative. State what you're moving toward, never what you're moving away from. I am generating wealth. I am succeeding. I am healthy and vital. Rule 2. Present tense only. I will be happy. I will get the job. I will heal. Future tense encodes the outcome as not now, later, someday, eventually. Your nervous system responds to present tense cues. If something isn't coded as happening now, in this moment, it's not real to your bioelectric system. Future tense keeps the goal perpetually out of reach, always on the horizon, never arriving. This is why people can manifest for years without results. They're constantly broadcasting, Not yet, not yet, not yet, while consciously thinking they're calling something in. Fix. Present tense, always, even if it's not physically true yet. I am at peace. I am employed in my ideal role. I am healing. You're not lying. You're encoding the identity at the frequency level so your field can stabilize into that pattern. Rule 3. Identity over desire. I want money. I need a relationship. I'm trying to get healthy. Want codes are lacking. You wouldn't want it if you had it. Need codes are desperate. Trying codes showcase struggle and effort. All of these broadcast, I don't have this, I'm separate from this, I'm chasing this. Identity statements bypass the lack frequency entirely. I am abundant. I am loved and connected. I am vital. These aren't affirmations in the weak positive thinking sense. These are frequency declarations. You're claiming the identity at the bioelectric level, and your field organizes to match. Here's your first assignment. For the next 24 hours, track every I statement you make, internal or external. How many are victim-coded? How many are future tense? How many are based in lack or negation? Then rewrite them in real time. Catch yourself mid-sentence if you have to. I can't afford... Wait, I'm creating new income streams. I hope this... No, I am claiming this outcome. I don't want to fail. I am succeeding. Short phrases, present tense, identity level. Repeat until your nervous system starts believing it. Because your subconscious doesn't distinguish between true and repeated. Whatever you repeat consistently becomes neurologically true. Your brain literally rewires around the dominant signal pattern. The ancient mystics called this logos, the word, the ordering principle of reality. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Not religious poetry, operational physics. Sound creates form. Vibration creates patterns. Your words don't describe reality, they prescribe it. They code it into existence. So stop running victim code. Stop broadcasting scarcity. Clean up your language and you clean up your signal. Clean up your signal and reality starts reflecting a different frequency back to you. That's the code layer. Now let's add the bioelectric physics layer that makes this undeniable. Forget everything you think you know about energy work. Forget crystals, forget auras, forget cosmic consciousness downloaded from the 7th dimension. This isn't New Age mysticism. This is voltage, frequency, and electromagnetic fields, measurable, documented, reproducible physics. Your body is not solid. At the atomic level, you're 99.9999% empty space. What you perceive as solid matter is actually electromagnetic force fields holding atoms in stable patterns. You are a dynamic, oscillating field of electrical potentials in constant motion and interaction. Every single cell in your body is a battery. Your cell membranes maintain voltage gradients across ion channels, typically about -70 millivolts at rest. Multiply that by your 37 trillion cells, and you're a massive bioelectric generator producing measurable fields that extend beyond your skin. Your heart alone generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, 100,000 times stronger electrically than your brain's field, and 5,000 times stronger magnetically. This field is measurable 3 to 6 feet outside your body with sensitive equipment. When two people stand close together, their heart fields overlap and begin to entrain, to synchronize their rhythms. This isn't a metaphor. This is documented by the Heart Math Institute using EEG and ECG simultaneously on multiple subjects. Your brain runs on oscillating electrical rhythms, brain waves measured in hertz. Beta, 13 to 30 hertz. Active thinking, focused attention, stress. Alpha, 8 to 12 hertz. Relaxed awareness, creative flow, meditation. Theta, 4 to 7 hertz. Deep meditation, REM sleep, creative insight. Delta, 0.5 to 3 Hz, deep sleep, healing, unconscious processing. These aren't metaphors for mental states, these are measurable frequencies, and different frequencies access different capabilities. You can't access deep creative insight while locked in beta stress mode. You can't maintain sharper focus while drifting in theta. Learning to shift brainwave states on demand is learning to shift what you have access to. Your hands are electromagnetic power stations. Your palms have more sweat glands per square inch than almost anywhere else. And sweat is conductive. Your hands modulate electrical conductivity based on your autonomic state. Lie detector tests measure this as galvanic skin response. When you're stressed, your palms literally change their electrical properties. Your fingertips are packed with mechanoreceptors, nerve endings detecting pressure, vibration, temperature, and electromagnetic fluctuations. You have approximately 2,500 receptors per square centimeter in your fingertips. These aren't just passive sensors. They're active interfaces detecting and broadcasting information. Ever felt heat, tingling, or pulsing sensations in your palms during intense focus, emotional peaks, or creative breakthroughs? That's not imagination. That's measurable bioelectric feedback. Your hands are the emitter arrays of your field. Now here's the mechanism that changes everything. Voltage plus rhythm plus meaning equals broadcast. Let me break that down. Voltage is your baseline bioelectric charge. Are you depleted, scattered attention, shallow breathing, chronic stress, energy leaking in 1,000 directions? Or are you coherent, contained, focused, fully charged, signal locked? When your nervous system is fragmented, your bioelectric field outputs noise, static, interference. When your nervous system is coherent, your field outputs a clean signal. Rhythm is your oscillatory pattern, your brainwave state, your heart rate variability, your breath rate. Chaos produces noise. Coherence produces signals. When your heart rhythm is chaotic, jagged, irregular, reactive, your brain can't access higher functions. You're stuck in survival mode. When your heart rhythm is coherent, smooth, sine wave, rhythmic, your prefrontal cortex comes online, your intuition sharpens, your decision-making improves, and your field stabilizes. Meaning is the semantic content, your language, your mental imagery, your emotional tone. This is the information being encoded into the electromagnetic waveform you're broadcasting. Garbage in, garbage out. If you're running fear-based language, doom loop imagery, and shame-coded emotions, that's what you're transmitting. If you're running identity-based language, clear imagery, and coherent emotion, that's what broadcasts. When all three align, voltage stable, rhythm coherent, meaning clear, you're not just thinking or wishing. You're transmitting a clean, strong signal that the surrounding field can receive and respond to. Science has been documenting pieces of this for decades, but they keep it fragmented so you don't see the full picture. Galvanic skin response. Your skin conductivity changes measurably based on emotional and cognitive state. This is so reliable it's used in lie detection. Your bioelectric field shifts when you're lying, stressed, aroused, or focused. External technology can detect it. Why wouldn't the surrounding field detect it too? Wound currents. When you're injured, your body generates measurable electrical fields at the injury site. Tiny currents flowing from the wound that guide cellular migration and tissue regeneration. Your body uses bioelectric fields to reorganize matter. Your field literally shapes your physical form. HeartMath coherence research. When your heart rhythm variability is coherent, smooth, regular pattern, multiple studies show improved cognitive performance, better emotional regulation, enhanced intuition, and even measurable effects on other people's brainwaves when you're near them. Your coherent field affects other fields. Electromagnetic field sensitivity. Multiple studies have shown that humans can detect changes in electromagnetic fields below the threshold of conscious awareness. You're not just generating fields, you're sensing them. This isn't fringe science. It's published, peer-reviewed, replicated research. It's just scattered across disciplines: cardiology, neuroscience, bioelectromagnetics, psychophysiology, so you never connect the dots and realize what you're sitting on. Here's the dot connection they don't want you to make. You are not a solid object in empty space. You are a dynamic electromagnetic field in constant interaction with other fields. Every thought modulates your field. Every emotion shifts your frequency. Every gesture broadcasts a signal. And your hands, with their dense nerve endings, electromagnetic sensitivity, and disproportionate brain representation, are the primary antenna array. When you form specific hand positions, closing bioelectric loops, redirecting current, changing the geometry of your field, you're not doing symbolic ritual magic. You're altering the actual electromagnetic broadcasting pattern of your body. The ancient practitioners figured this out through millennia of pragmatic experimentation. They documented what worked. They passed it down as operational technology, not religious belief. And what they discovered is about to change everything for you. The monks weren't delusional. The mystics weren't primitive. The Hermetic magicians weren't superstitious fools. They were pragmatic experimentalists, running systematic trials on consciousness and body for thousands of years, documenting reproducible results, and passing down operational protocols disguised as spiritual practices, so they'd survive through dark ages when this knowledge was suppressed. And what they discovered independently across multiple continents and cultures was exactly the same thing. Hand shapes plus mental focus plus semantic codes equals reality control. Start with mudras, the hand seals catalogued in Vedic and Buddhist traditions. These aren't symbolic art, they're functional circuits. Over 500 documented mudras, each associated with specific physiological, psychological, and reportedly energetic effects. Gyan mudra. Thumb tip touches index fingertip, other fingers extended. Associated with knowledge, clarity, focus, and mental acuity. Why does it work? Because that specific circuit, that specific touch contact, activates neural pathways associated with prefrontal cortex dominance, your executive function center. Decision-making, self-regulation, impulse control, abstract reasoning, all enhanced when this circuit is closed. Modern neuroscience confirms that touching your thumb and index creates measurable shifts in brain activity patterns. It's not magic, it's applied neurology wrapped in ancient terminology. Prana mudra. Thumb tip touches ring finger and pinky simultaneously. Associated with vitality, energy balance, and groundedness. This hand position activates parasympathetic nervous system dominance, your rest, digest, restore mode. When you hold it, your heart rate variability shifts toward coherence. Your breath naturally deepens, your stress hormones drop. Ancient yogis didn't have HRV monitors, but they could feel the state shift. They catalogued it, they taught it. Anjali mudra, prayer hands, palms pressed together at the heart center. Associated with balance, centeredness, devotion, and heart-mind integration. This position literally connects both hemispheres, left palm to right palm, creating a closed bilateral circuit. Your left and right brain hemispheres begin to synchronize their electrical activity. Heart coherence increases. The gesture itself produces a measurable physiological state shift that practitioners could feel and reproduce. Each mudra is a switch, a physical key that tells your nervous system, enter this state now. Now go Hermetic. The Western esoteric tradition, alchemists, Kabbalists, ceremonial magicians, understood something crucial. Thought forms need physical anchors or they remain unstable. You can visualize all day. You can affirm all day. But if you don't seal the thought form with a physical sign, a gesture, a drawn symbol, a spoken word vibrating your larynx, it remains etheric, probabilistic, prone to collapse back into formlessness. The hand gesture closes the circuit. It brings the thought form from the purely mental realm into the physical realm, even if just at the level of your physical gesture. It tells your nervous system and the surrounding field, this is not fantasy, this is an act, this is done. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. This isn't poetry, it's a description of correspondence. The internal must be mirrored externally. To change the outer world, you first change the inner world, your state, your code, your frequency, and then you mark that change in the physical. The gesture is the mark, the seal, the signature that says, this pattern is now real. Medieval grimoires are full of hand signs, drawn seals, and spoken words of power. Scholars dismiss them as superstition, but embedded in that symbolic language is operational technology. Align mental state plus speak specific sounds, plus form specific hand shapes equals produce specific effects in consciousness and reality. Kabbalistic tradition goes even deeper. Each of the 22 Hebrew letters corresponds to a sound frequency, a number value, a pathway on the tree of life, map of consciousness, a specific meaning or archetype, a hand gesture or body position. When you align all four, speak the letter's sound, contemplate its meaning, hold the corresponding hand position, focus on the pathway, you're creating a multidimensional anchor. You're encoding reality simultaneously at auditory, semantic, somatic, and symbolic levels. Multi-channel broadcasting. Tibetan Buddhist monks practice mantra plus mudra fusion, chanting specific syllables, mantras, while holding specific hand seals, mudras, while visualizing specific symbols, yantras, for hours at a time. Western researchers have studied them with EEG, ECG, and infrared cameras. Results: dramatically increased brainwave coherence, elevated heart rate variability, synchronized brain hemispheres, and in advanced practitioners doing tummo meditation, increased body temperature so significant they can dry wet sheets with body heat alone in freezing conditions. Measurable, documented, reproducible. The monks aren't special. The technology is special. The protocol is special. And you have access to the same nervous system, the same bioelectric field, the same hand-brain interface they do. Einstein said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." He wasn't being metaphorical. He understood that what you hold in mind with clarity and feeling precedes what manifests in form. But the ancient operators knew what Einstein didn't emphasize. Imagination alone is incomplete. Mental imagery is step one. You need step two, the physical seal, the hand gesture, the embodied act, the bridge between internal code and external form. When you combine ancient operational wisdom with modern neuroscience and bioelectromagnetic physics, you get a complete system. Not belief, not faith. Reproducible technology for tuning your internal frequency and broadcasting it into form through your hands and brain. And now I'm going to hand you the control panel and show you exactly which dials to turn. You're not powerless. You're not a victim of circumstance, genetics, market forces, or bad luck. You're just operating the control panel unconsciously, randomly, chaotically, letting default programming run the show, and then wondering why your life feels out of control. There are 4 dials on the reality control panel. Only 4. Master these 4 variables, and you master your experienced reality. Ignore them, and you're a puppet of conditioning. Here they are. Dial 1. State, your nervous system gear. Your autonomic nervous system operates in one of 2 primary modes: sympathetic activation, fight, flight, freeze, survival mode, stress hormones flooding, shallow breathing, narrowed perception, reactive. Parasympathetic activation, rest, digest, create. Coherence mode, restorative hormones active. Deep breathing, expanded perception, responsive. Most modern humans are locked in chronic low-grade sympathetic activation, always slightly stressed, always slightly reactive, always in survival mode, even when there's no immediate threat. Your cortisol never fully drops. Your breath never fully deepens. Your nervous system never gets to rest and create. In that state, you're not broadcasting a clean signal. You're broadcasting stress noise, static and interference. The first dial. What gear is my nervous system in right now? Calm or chaos? Scattered or centered? Reactive or responsive? You must learn to shift gears on demand. This isn't optional. This is the baseline requirement for reality control. Breathwork, heart coherence exercises, intentional state shifts. These are your manual transmission controls. Dial 2. Signal, your internal code. This is your self-talk, your inner monologue, your identity statements, your unconscious narration running in the background 24/7. Most people run victim loops on autopilot. I'm so tired. I can't afford this. Nothing ever works for me. Why does this always happen? Maybe someday. That's your carrier signal. That's what you're broadcasting into the field every moment. The second dial. What am I saying to myself right now? Is it empowering or disempowering? Identity level, I am. Or victim level, I can't. Present tense or perpetually future tense? Affirmative or negation-based? Rewrite the code. Choose the phrase consciously. Repeat until it becomes the dominant frequency. Dial 3. Image, your mental scene. Your brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experience and actual experience at the neurological level. MRI studies show the same regions lighting up whether you're doing something or vividly imagining doing it. When you mentally rehearse failure, replaying past trauma, catastrophizing future scenarios, your neurons fire as if you're experiencing that failure now. You're coding it as real. You're broadcasting that pattern. When you mentally rehearse success, vivid, sensory-rich, first-person scenes of desired outcomes, the same thing happens. Your neurons fire, your field encodes it, and you broadcast that pattern. The third dial. What am I visualizing right now? Doom loops, past failures on repeat, worst-case scenarios in high-definition detail, or clear, specific, sensory-rich scenes of what you actually want to experience. Stop unconscious rehearsal. Start deliberate scene building. Dial 4. Action, your physical seal. This is the bridge, the closer, the circuit completion. You can have perfect state, dial 1, perfect code, dial 2, perfect imagery, dial 3. But if you don't embody it with a physical gesture and take at least one micro-action in the real world, it stays abstract, theoretical, unmanifest. The fourth dial. What gesture and action seal this frequency right now? Choose a specific hand position, traditional mudra or personal seal. Hold it while in the desired state, speaking the code, seeing the image. Then within 24 hours maximum, take one small, aligned action in physical reality that matches the frequency you're broadcasting. The gesture tells your nervous system, this is not fantasy, this is the form. The micro-action tells the field, this is not the future, this is now. Here's the law that governs this entire system. You change reality by changing all 4 dials together, not separately. One dial alone, weak signal, fragmented, easily overridden by default programming. 2 dials, marginal improvement, inconsistent results, still mostly noise. 3 dials, strong coherence, clear signal. Measurable shift starting, all 4 dials aligned simultaneously. Reality bends, synchronicities stack, opportunities materialize, results manifest. State sets the baseline, signal encodes the information, image provides the blueprint, action seals it into form. This is not a theory. This is not positive thinking repackaged. This is the actual operating system of your bioelectric interface with reality. Most people never touch these dials consciously. They live their entire lives in default settings programmed by childhood trauma, cultural conditioning, media consumption, and unconscious social mimicry. You're not most people anymore. Now let me give you the emergency reset button, the 30-second protocol that stops chaos and locks you into clean signal broadcasting mode instantly. Before you can broadcast a clean signal, you need to stop the noise. And your baseline right now? It's chaos. Scattered attention spinning between 47 browser tabs, shallow chest breathing, racing thoughts, cortisol-flooded nervous system, conflicting intentions pulling you in 8 directions simultaneously. You're bleeding energy everywhere, broadcasting static, receiving more static back. This 30-second protocol is your circuit breaker, your frequency reset, your emergency return to zero-point coherence. You can deploy this anywhere, anytime, before important conversations, in the middle of conflict, when you feel yourself spiraling into reactivity, or just as routine maintenance throughout your day. 30 seconds. That's it. But these might be the most important 30 seconds of your day. Here's the exact protocol. Step 1. Breathe. 6 breaths per minute rhythm. Inhale for 5 full seconds through your nose, pulling air deep into your belly, expanding your diaphragm fully. Exhale for 5 full seconds through your nose, slow and controlled, emptying your lungs completely. That's 1 full cycle. That's 6 breaths per minute, the exact rhythm that maximizes heart rate variability coherence and shifts your nervous system into parasympathetic dominance. Do this for 30 seconds. That's exactly 3 full breath cycles. Why nasal breathing specifically? Because your nasal passages are lined with parasympathetic nerve endings. Nasal breathing activates your vagus nerve, your parasympathetic superhighway, which signals your entire nervous system to downshift from stress mode to coherence mode. Nasal breathing also increases nitric oxide production, which improves oxygen delivery to your brain and tissues. Mouth breathing keeps you in sympathetic stress activation. Nasal breathing physiologically shifts you toward coherence. Step 2. Hand anchor, thumb index touch. While you're breathing, bring your thumb and index finger together on both hands simultaneously. Light contact, gentle pressure. Form a small circle with each hand. This is Gyan Mudra, the knowledge seal, the clarity circuit. The physical contact between these specific digits activates neural pathways associated with prefrontal cortex activity, your executive function, center, focus. Clarity, decision-making, self-regulation. The touch itself creates a closed bioelectric circuit, a feedback loop. It tells your nervous system at the somatic level, we are present, we are here, we are focused. Now. Step 3. Phrase 1. I am statement synced with exhale. On each exhale, silently or softly speak 1 short identity phrase. Keep it under 6 words. Examples: I'm calm and clear. I am the source. I am aligned and coherent. I am centered and strong. Sync the phrase precisely with your exhale, because exhalation activates vagus nerve tone and parasympathetic response. You're breathing the code directly into your nervous system at the moment when it's most receptive. Step 4. Visual. Soft glow in palms, brain as quiet hum. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Don't strain. Imagine or sense a gentle warmth in the center of both palms, like a soft glow or subtle heat. Don't force it. Just invite the sensation. Many people can feel this immediately because you're directing attention to areas with high nerve density and blood flow. Then imagine your brain as a quiet, steady hum. A single frequency, no static, no mental chatter. Just a clean signal, a low, steady tone. You're not trying to visualize complex scenes here. You're establishing baseline coherence. Hands online, brain quiet. Signal clear, that's it. 30 seconds total. 3 breath cycles, thumb index contact, I am phrase syncing with exhale. Soft awareness of palms and brain. When to use this? Before important conversations, so you enter from coherence instead of reactivity. Before creative work, so you access flow state instead of forcing through resistance. Before decision-making, so you're operating from clarity instead of fear. In the middle of conflict, pause, reset, respond from center instead of reacting from stress. Anytime you feel scattered, anxious, overwhelmed, or disconnected, emergency interrupt, hard reset, return to baseline. After consuming triggering content, news, social media, difficult messages, clear the residue immediately. Do this multiple times per day. Make it automatic. This isn't extra work, this is essential maintenance. Your nervous system accumulates noise constantly. You need regular resets or the static drowns out your signal. Without baseline coherence, everything else collapses. You can have perfect language code, perfect imagery, perfect action plans, but if your state is chaos, your broadcast is noise. The field receives static and returns static. The 30-second reset is your foundation. Your on switch. Your return to broadcasting power. And once you've installed this as automatic baseline maintenance, you're ready for the full daily protocol that maintains high-frequency coherence and actively rewrites your reality. One-off bursts of effort don't rewire reality. Sporadic inspiration doesn't compound. What changes your life is daily practice. Consistency system protocol. And what I'm about to give you is the minimum effective dose for sustained reality control. This is the daily structure that keeps your signal clean, your frequency high, and your field actively broadcasting coherent patterns into reality. Middays? Your default programming, the algorithm, the trauma loops, the inherited conditioning, reclaims the signal. Your nervous system reverts to factory settings. You go back on autopilot. Stay consistent for 30 days. Your external reality starts mirroring a fundamentally different frequency, not eventually. Within 1 month, you'll see undeniable shifts. Here's the structure. Morning, 7-minute alignment. Breath, mantra, mudra, microvisual. You set the carrier frequency for your entire day in the first hour after waking. Before you touch your phone, before you scroll news or social media, before you dump the chaos and cortisol-spiking content of the algorithmic feed into your field. Your brain is most programmable in the first 30 minutes after waking, moving from theta, dream state, into alpha, relaxed awareness. This is when your subconscious is most receptive. Don't waste it on reactive consumption. Use it for conscious programming. Minutes 1 to 2. Breath and state. Sit or stand. Spine straight. Begin the 6 breaths per minute rhythm. 5-second inhale nasal, 5-second exhale nasal. Get into parasympathetic coherence. Shift gears from sleep mode into create mode, not stress mode. Minutes 3 to 5. Mantra and mudra. Choose your core identity phrase for the day. This should be your current primary frequency you're encoding. I am aligned with abundance. I am the creator of my reality. I am magnetic to ideal opportunities. I am healthy, vital, and strong. Hold your chosen mudra for this identity, Gyan for clarity, Prana for vitality, Kubra for wealth, or your personal seal. Repeat the phrase softly or silently, syncing with your breath. Don't rush. Let the words sink into your body, not just echo in your mind. Feel the phrase, embody it. Let your nervous system code it as identity, not aspiration. Minutes 6 to 7, microvisual. Close your eyes. Construct one vivid scene from today as if it's already happened. Not a fantasy. A specific, sensory-rich moment. I'm at my desk, receiving an email confirmation. I feel satisfaction and relief in my chest. I can see the sender's name clearly. I'm having a conversation where I feel confident and clear. I can hear my voice steady. I feel grounded. One snapshot. First-person perspective. Sensory detail. Present tense experience. Don't make this a long guided meditation. Just lock in one moment. Imprint it. Done. That's 7 minutes. If you genuinely can't find 7 minutes in your morning, you're not serious about changing your reality. You're still prioritizing reactive consumption over conscious creation. You're still letting the algorithm program your frequency instead of programming it yourself. Midday. 2-minute recalibration. Reset state, reaffirm code. By midday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Depending on your schedule. The chaos has crept back in. Emails, demands, interruptions. Other people's urgency becomes your emergency. Energy leaking, attention fragmenting, frequency dropping. The 2-minute midday recall stops the bleed before it compounds. Minute 1. Breath reset. Wherever you are, desk, car, bathroom, doesn't matter. Close your eyes or step away from screens. 6 breaths, slow, nasal, full cycles. Return to coherence. Minute 2. Reaffirm your code. Repeat your identity phrase 3 times, out loud if possible, internally if you must. I am calm and clear. I am calm and clear. I am calm and clear. Shake off accumulated noise. Lock back into signal. This isn't optional. This is maintenance. Your nervous system accumulates stress continuously throughout the day. If you don't interrupt it and reset deliberately, it compounds into chronic activation. You end the day depleted, reactive, scattered, and you carry that frequency into evening and sleep. 2 minutes. Set a phone alarm if you need to. Make it non-negotiable. Evening. 9-minute deprogram. Release residue. Rescript identity. The day dumps residue on you. Stress, conflict, disappointments, triggered reactions, other people's emotional energy, unconscious absorption of frequencies from environments and interactions. If you don't actively clear this before sleep, you carry it into your subconscious processing. Your dreams encode it. Your nervous system stores it. Tomorrow you wake up carrying yesterday's frequency instead of starting fresh. The evening deprogram is your filter, your energetic shower, your system flush. Minutes 1 to 3. Release breath. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Inhale normally. On the exhale, let go completely. Visualize any stress, tension, anxiety, or negativity, leaving your body like smoke or dark mist, dissipating into nothing. Sigh it out. Make sound if it helps. Release fully, empty. Do this for 3 full minutes. You're not trying to understand or process, just release. Let it go. Minutes 4 to 6. Reinstall your code. Now that you've cleared space, reinstall your chosen frequency. Don't leave a vacuum. Hold your mudra. Repeat your identity phrase, but this time add sensory and emotional depth. I am the creator of my reality. I feel this power in my bones. I see my life reflecting my frequency. I trust this process completely. Speak it with conviction, with feeling, with embodied certainty. Minutes 7 to 9. Gratitude lock. End with gratitude. This is not spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. Gratitude is a measurably high-frequency electromagnetic state. HeartMath research shows Gratitude creates heart coherence patterns associated with optimal nervous system function. Name 3 specific things you're genuinely grateful for from today. Say them out loud or mentally with real feeling. I'm grateful for the clarity I felt during that conversation. I'm grateful for the energy I had to complete that project. I'm grateful for this moment of peace right now. Gratitude tells your nervous system and the field, this is the frequency I want more of. It's a direct request for pattern continuation. Weekly. 20-minute deep practice. Extended coherence plus reality scripting. Once per week, same day, same time, if possible. Go deeper. This is your maintenance and upgrade session. 10 minutes. Extended coherence work, breath, mudra, silent focus, no agenda, just establishing and maintaining deep coherence, building capacity, strengthening the baseline. 10 minutes, reality scripting. Write by hand, not typed. Handwriting engages different neural pathways. Your core identity statements in present tense. Specific desired scenes with sensory detail. Your next level self operating at higher frequency. This is where you refine your code, adjust your seals, clarify your signal, and lock in the larger vision beyond daily maintenance. Tracking. Build your evidence file. Keep a simple log, digital or physical. Note 3 things. Physical sensations during practice. Heat in palms, tingling in fingertips, sense of clarity or calm, any bioelectric feedback you notice. Mood and energy, before/after. Rate yourself 1 to 10 before and after each session. External confirmations, synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, aligned coincidences, results that match your encoded frequencies. You're building your personal proof chain, your evidence file, your data showing this system works. That's the protocol, 18 minutes per day total, 7 in the morning, 2 at midday, 9 at night, plus 20 minutes once per week. No excuses. No, I don't have time. You have time for scrolling. You have time for this. Consistency beats intensity. Miss a day and you'll feel it. Miss a week and you'll see it externally. Your default programming is relentless. It wants you back in reactive consumer mode, back in the loop, back unconscious. But if you hold the structure for 30 days, really hold it with no negotiation, your nervous system rewires, your baseline frequency shifts. Your external reality begins reflecting different patterns back to you. And now let me show you the exact method for commanding a specific outcome and sealing it into form. This is where people stop believing me. Because I'm about to tell you that when you integrate your brain, when you actually close the split and operate as one unified system, your external reality changes. Not just your internal experience, your actual circumstances, the opportunities that show up, the synchronicities, the results. And that sounds like manifestation woo-woo, like law of attraction repackaged. It's not. Let me explain the mechanism, and you'll see why this is physics, not magic. Unified signals versus split signals. Your brain is constantly broadcasting an electromagnetic field. This is documented. Neurons fire, they generate electrical activity, and that activity creates a field extending beyond your skull. When your brain is split, you're broadcasting 2 different frequencies simultaneously. Left brain broadcasts logic, planning, should do, fear-based caution, analysis paralysis. Right brain broadcasts intuition, feeling, want to do, desire-based action, pattern recognition, and they're often in opposition. So the field receives, I want this, but I'm scared of it. I should do this, but it doesn't feel right. I'm moving forward, but I'm holding back. That's a split signal. And reality responds to split signals by giving you split results, mixed outcomes, Almost, but not quite. Patterns that repeat, things that start strong and collapse. Not because you're cursed, because you're broadcasting two opposing frequencies at once. But when you integrate, left brain and right brain synchronize. The logical plan matches the intuitive knowing. The should aligns with the want. Now you're broadcasting, I know this is right and I feel this is right. One unified frequency, no contradiction, no internal opposition. And reality responds to unified signals completely differently. What actually happens? Week by week. Week 1, internal shifts. You'll notice decisions become easier, not because you have more information, but because you're not fighting yourself about them anymore. That project you've been procrastinating on, you'll just start it. Not because you forced yourself, because the resistance dissolved. Both sides agreed it was time. That conversation you've been avoiding, you'll have it. You'll be surprised at how clear you are and how present you are, because you're not internally split while trying to communicate. Small things, but noticeable. Week 2, energy changes. You'll realize you're not exhausted by 2 p.m. anymore. You still have energy, motivation, clarity. Because you're not burning energy managing internal conflict all day. People might comment on it. You seem different, more energized. What changed? Nothing external. You just stopped leaking power through the split. Week 3, external confirmations. This is when it gets weird. You'll think of someone, and they'll text you within an hour. You'll need something. Information, a connection, a resource, and it will show up without you actively searching for it. You'll have a clear sense about something, and it will turn out to be exactly right. These aren't coincidences. This is your unified field interacting with the larger field more coherently. When your signal is clean, the field can respond directly. When your signal is split, the field receives noise and responds chaotically. Something in your circumstances will shift. Not dramatically. Not, I won the lottery, but undeniably. An opportunity you weren't expecting, a problem that resolves itself. A person who shows up at exactly the right time, a decision that becomes obvious when it was unclear before. And you'll look back and realize, my life is different now. Not just how I feel, what's actually happening. This is what happens when you broadcast unified. The science behind why this works. Your brain's electromagnetic field interacts with other fields, other people's fields, the ambient field of environments. This isn't mysticism. The HeartMath Institute has documented this extensively. When someone's heart is in coherence, when their heart rhythm is smooth and organized, people around them unconsciously entrain to that coherence. Their heart rhythms start to match. Field-to-field communication. No words, no conscious awareness. Just electromagnetic resonance. Now extend that principle. When your brain field is split, you're broadcasting incoherence, and you attract incoherent results. When your brain field is unified, you're broadcasting coherence, and you attract coherent results. Not through magic, through resonance, through field dynamics. The ancient Hermetic principle, correspondence. As within, so without. What you broadcast internally, you experience externally. Not because the universe is conscious and responding to your wishes, because you are a field interacting with other fields, and unified fields create coherent interactions while split fields create chaotic interactions. The proof you'll build. Don't believe me? Build your own evidence file. For the next 30 days, keep a log. Every day, note. One decision you made that felt clear instead of conflicted. One moment of unexpected synchronicity. Person texted, things showed up, intuition was right. One external shift, opportunity, resolution, change in circumstances. Just track it, don't interpret. Don't try to force anything. Just observe and document. By day 30, you'll have 30 data points showing that something fundamentally changed. Not in your beliefs, in your results. And that's when you'll know this is real. Not because I said so, because you proved it to yourself. The one thing that ruins it. There's one guaranteed way to collapse all of this back into split-brain chaos. Skip the daily practice. Think you've got it after a week and stop doing the 15 minutes. Let stress or busyness override the protocol. Decide it's not working fast enough and quit. The split is a deeply grooved habit. It's your default mode, and it will reassert itself the moment you stop actively integrating. This isn't something you do for a month and you're fixed forever. This is a practice, a daily recalibration, a commitment to operating as unified instead of split. Just like you shower daily to stay clean, you integrate daily to stay coherent. Miss days, and you'll feel it. The indecision creeps back, the exhaustion returns, the synchronicities stop, the split reclaims you. But stay consistent. 15 minutes a day for 30 days, then ongoing, and integration becomes your new baseline. The war ends. The energy stops leaking. The signal clarifies. And your reality reflects that clarity back to you in ways you can't predict, but will be undeniable. The final challenge. I'm going to ask you to do something right now. In the comments below, write one sentence. I commit to 30 days of brain integration. That's it. Just say it publicly. Let the field witness it. Let your future self see that you made this commitment. Because here's what will happen. You'll watch this video. You'll feel inspired, and you'll think, I should try this. And then you'll close the video, open another tab, and forget. That's the split protecting itself. It doesn't want to die. It wants to stay in control. But if you comment, if you declare it publicly, you create accountability. You make it real. You increase the likelihood that you'll actually do it. So comment right now, before you forget, before the split reasserts itself. I commit to 30 days of brain integration. And then do the practice every day. Morning, midday, evening. 15 minutes total. Track your results, document the shifts, come back in 30 days and tell me what happened. Because you're not here by accident. You didn't click on a video about hidden organs and split brains because you're fine with how things are. You clicked because some part of you, probably your right brain, your intuitive side, recognized truth here. And your left brain is still skeptical. That's fine. Let it be skeptical. But let both sides participate in the experiment. 30 days, 15 minutes a day. Document everything. And then decide for yourself whether this is real. The hidden organ, your unified brain accessed through your hands, is there. It's been there your whole life. The question is, will you finally activate it? The choice is yours. But make it now. Comment below. Commit publicly. And then let's see what happens when you stop being split and become whole. I'll see you on the other side.